Nope.
Come on, we need to get started. Get out here.
We have snacks.
Snacks are cool.
Dim the lights, the blankets pile high. Tigers and slippers, Patty's got pie. Two weird movies and nobody knows what the other one's brought to this midnight show. It's Patty Cake's pajama party picture show. In jammies and blankets, we're ready to go to mystery movies, the good and the bad. We laugh till we cry, or just cry 'cause it's bad. Or just cry 'cause it's bad.
Hello, my darlings. Welcome back to the channel. If you're new, please come in, make yourself at home. My name is Patty Cake. Welcome to Patty Cake Games and the next episode of Patty Cake's Pajama Party Picture Show. Or with us today is Glenn Keltos from Tuesday Night Streams and also from the Discord. We watched two pretty terrible films. One of them actually was not I wouldn't say it's a bad film. The second we watched was not a bad film. It was very dated.
Yes.
And it was very fun to watch. It was very nostalgic, and we'll talk about that once we get to it. But the other movie we watched was just terrible. But it was an experience that I think everyone should have if you're interested.
Yes.
Yeah. So,
I agree.
the first movie we watched was called New York Ninja. And I was telling the guys about this, that there's an interesting story behind New York Ninja. New York Ninja was filmed in 1984. It was a passion project from someone named John Liu.
Liu.
Liu?
Liu.
Liu?
Yeah.
Liu? Liu?
Liu. It's like Liu, but you say
Liu? That's
yeah.
what I'm saying. Anyway. It was a passion project. So that means he was the writer, he was the director, and he starred in the show. So the story behind this film, and this is the reason why I wanted to watch this, and I've always wanted to see it since it came out, because it only came out in 2021. It was filmed in 1984, but it came out in 2021 because it was originally filmed, and then it either at the end of photography or before post-production really got underway. The project was abandoned, probably financial reasons. It's not really detailed as to why. But anyway, years later, Vinegar Syndrome, that brought us Spookies in the last episode, they actually acquired the assets from this company that was going out of business, and they got all these cans of reels of footage of this movie called New York Ninja that had never been edited or put together. There was no script. There was no storyboard. There wasn't even any sound. So all the sound either was lost or it was just recorded without sound, and they were going to ADR it all later. So Kurtis Spieler actually redirected the film, took all the footage, and tried to put it together without a script or a storyboard. And he hired a bunch of B-movie actors to do the voices. They completely did all the sound, and pieced together a film out of all this raw footage. And what came out of that was a big, giant, incoherent mess.
Yep.
Glenn, what was your thoughts on New York Ninja?
I'm gonna have nightmares probably for a while.
Is
I
it
won't be able to look at an egg again the same way.
right?
Or
So
a
many
candle.
eggs. Or candles, yes.
Yeah.
So many eggs and candles and plutonium man.
I was waiting for Wisu to just jump in and say, "Oh, hi, Mark," or have what was a Samurai Cop wall lion.
Oh, Wall Lion. Yes, we love Wall Lion from Samurai Cop. We might have to do Samurai Cop on this show. So to kind of give you guys an idea of what New York Ninja is about, it's basically a superhero film. I mean, this is the basic model. It's a
Yeah,
superhero
it's
film.
like an origin story.
It's an
Yeah.
origin story of a superhero. He meets his wife briefly.
Sorry I'm late.
Oh yeah,
Birthday.
I always wanted a pink eye patch. In front of a building, and she takes that opportunity to let him know that she's pregnant.
I have something to tell you, and it can't wait.
What is it?
I'm pregnant.
Really?
Which seems weird. After he gives her a pink eye patch or something. I don't know what it was.
I
thought it was
It
was like a little tiny wrestler.
A wrestling belt.
That's what it looked like. It's a little tiny wrestler.
Yeah.
It did.
Yeah, so I don't know what exactly that scene was. Well, I mean, no one really knows exactly what that scene was supposed to be. We don't know.
The words looked right.
Yeah.
And the whole thing of what happens to her later and where the knife goes kind of reiterates that.
That she was potentially pregnant because she died, just FYI, she died like 5 seconds after that scene's over with. And that's the impetus for him becoming the New York Ninja. So he decides to become vigilante justice and go after these gangs of thugs that wear weird costumes and masks. And I counted. From the point that I said I was going to start counting, I counted, and there was never more than 8 people in any scene. So I am absolutely convinced that's the entire cast is those 8 people, and they kept dressing them differently to make it look like there was more gang members than there actually were.
The outfits were...
They were ridiculous. They were so silly.
Like I imagine
over
they
the
like
pants.
Yes.
No.
They went into an old studio and they opened one of those like steamer trunks and all of these random costumes just kind of pop out like the snake out of a can.
Right?
And then they're like, "Oh, we've got like enough costumes for like 28 people." I mean,
but we don't have 28 people.
For 28 characters.
Yeah. So
8
we'll just
people.
film every shot with no more than 8 gang members in every scene, and we'll just keep changing their costumes.
and we have like the mask that you put on someone's face when you're like gonna spray their hair.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like-
One guy was wearing tanning bed goggles.
Yeah.
Here's the green ones.
There were lots of pantyhose worn over heads.
Yes.
Yes.
Lots of and 2 guys were wearing jock straps on top of their pants.
Yep.
Which
The guy in
was
leather.
silly. Oh yeah, that was the guy in the leather with the eye patch.
Rat tail.
Rat tail kept biting his hand.
And rubbing
And
his face creepily with
That
his cane.
sword fight scene at the end with Rat Tail was one of the funniest sword fighting scenes I think I've ever seen.
There.
So let's break this into categories because I mean I don't want to necessarily reveal too much of the plot because I want people to actually want
plot?
to watch it.
Yeah.
there was. I mean, they tried to make a plot, but
It was. I mean, it was Spider-Man without the radioactive spider,
Well,
Yeah.
we did have plutonium.
and we had
that's true.
That's
true. That's
and he was a cameraman.
Okay, that's an entire discussion. Plutonium Man can be an entire discussion all by himself because I don't think I ever really understood what exactly was going on there. But okay, so just to break it into little segments. So we know the origin story of this film, and just the fact that this film exists is pretty amazing.
Yeah.
So I got to give credit to the re-editor for actually forming something that was somewhat coherent. There was stuff that didn't make any sense in it, but
Of course.
that's fine.
Yeah.
But as far as production value, I really loved that they kept the music appropriate to the era where the movie
Yes,
takes
they
place
didn't
because
upgrade that, yes.
they didn't
I like
upgrade it
that.
to 2021 music. It felt like an 80s movie
Yes.
from beginning to end. Even the sound felt like the sound from an 80s movie, and that's a pretty amazing accomplishment. So
Yeah.
kudos to them for that.
And all the I Love New York signs.
Oh yeah,
everywhere.
tons of those, and that was huge in the 80s,
Yes,
especially
it
because
was.
that was their big slogan. I love New York, bring in tourists. So yeah, that was everywhere. I love New York.
We should talk about her rando death scene because it happened so close to the beginning.
Yes, I mean it's right near the beginning.
She tries to be a good Samaritan and help a lady who's being kidnapped, by the village people.
By the village people.
Yep, by the village people.
And she grabs the girl's bag, and then they go after her, so she drops the bag, which could have been a weapon, you know. And then they very superficially slice her throat to the point that the blood doesn't even seep.
It's just a red line.
They mistakenly grabbed their red marker instead of their knife, and then went to go cut her throat, and they just made a red line with a Sharpie.
And then she rolled down the stairs slowly.
She
Don't
dance
forget
rolled.
the dance
Yeah, she did a little
before she
dance
fell.
spin roll as she rolled down the stairs.
It's just a little superficial. And then they managed to throw a knife into her midsection, ostensibly murdering her, even though this much of the knife was sticking out still.
Along with a cufflink. Somehow, he managed to throw the dagger and hit her stomach, and his cufflink went with it.
The dagger.
It landed in her hand.
And it landed in her hand.
Figure out how it's here and the couplink's here.
I don't.
Did it just come loose?
That's what I'm thinking. It must have come loose and just went.
Fight after all.
I mean, it's possible, but it's still highly improbable.
Yeah.
It could have been like, you know, he grabbed her and she held his hand.
Grabbed his
and it
yeah.
kind of pulled it out.
You know what? That's actually possible. That's possible.
I mean,
we didn't
he
see
could
that
probably
happen.
do that in slow mo.
No, help me.
I'm absolutely certain. I think I said this while we were watching it. I'm absolutely certain that there were no permits for filming this film originally. This was 100% guerrilla filmmaking, which is possibly why there was no sound.
And then sometimes the people just didn't look like they should sound like the person who was doing their voice.
Yeah, that happened many, many times.
Yeah, like the main cop.
The main cop.
I get it, believe me.
The one bad guy that looked kind of like Ralph Macchio.
What does he think I am, huh?
And then there was that girl he was trying to hypnotize in her voice.
Did you drop this?
No, I don't think so.
Look.
Oh, that was horrible.
I don't think so.
It's very clear that John Liu did not really know what he was doing in the filming process.
I would say not.
No.
I mean, yeah.
Fight scenes, which, of course, they followed the basic action movie trope of the enemies attack him one at a time.
Yeah.
That's normal. But you don't shoot a big wide-angle still shot of the entire fight while that's going on, because then it looks stupid.
Yes.
You do it in more close-up and have lots of you have lots of like inserts and lots of like quick cuts back and forth, so that the audience is distracted. They don't really see what's happening, and then it doesn't look so fake.
In my head, trying to imagine several people trying to fight a single superior fighter, supposedly. You don't want to necessarily like all be doing it at the same time unless you've gotten them on the ground where you can kick them or something. Yeah. Because how do you know you're not going to like haul off and punch one of your compatriots?
Right, no.
Which I do think I saw a few times. Like one time one of the guys kicked him and they ended up kicking the leg of one of the guys that was with
And then
them.
the other guy threw a knife. He threw a knife while he was fighting somebody, and he grabbed the knife in the air and then stabbed his friend with it. It's like, yeah. Ninjas are fast, man. Don't do that.
Why?
We still don't really know the story of it because at the end of the film, they actually apologize that they don't know the names of the actors in the
that were in the original roles. Yeah,
because they have no information.
They have no information on who they were, and they have no way of getting in touch with them.
Why? Why is this happening? Why won't anyone do anything? I don't understand. Why? Why? Why?
We have this series of villains, ridiculous comical gang members running around New York, annoying people.
Very annoying.
Really annoying. They're destroying cars, they're stealing purses, they're stealing jewelry.
My God, look what they're doing.
Hang on. Get ready.
They're destroying
I gotta get this on film.
Asking people for money that probably don't have it.
Yeah.
Street kids make money.
That's when the street gangs lost all their credibility, because then they became schoolyard bullies stealing milk money. From little kids.
Basically.
I mean, that's so stupid.
Now, you be a nice boy and pay me what you owe.
There has to be like a mastermind behind them all, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then this is all leading towards finding the mastermind that's behind the thugs. But then they introduce this villain that melts.
Sort of two villains, though, because we still aren't sure about the Pale Man.
Interpol, actually.
So I think I'm going to try that next time I go on a flight.
Right.
I'm just going to go to TSA and say, I'm Interpol, and see if they believe me without any sort of credentials.
Right. Then they probably won't.
And then you'll get arrested.
He's apparently radioactive in some way, because the way you convey radioactivity in films is green light. That's normally how it's done. So he opens up a box and he's bathed in green light, but it seems like he's already affected. So I don't really understand what that was all about. They never really explained what that box was.
It almost feels like it maybe like makes him feel good.
Yes, it was very hard to interpret.
It sort of makes him feel good in a masturbatory way, which, can we say that on the show?
Yes, absolutely.
I mean, it was very creepy, and
I mean, we're about to talk about the fact that he hypnotized a woman with a coin or necklace that looked like a coin. A necklace that I feel was supposed to be more significant.
Yeah,
but,
me too. It looked weird.
It looked interesting, especially in the daylight. It looked like it was mechanical.
Yes.
Like there was like gears
it looked
and
like
stuff
the
in
inside
it.
of a watch.
A watch. Yes, exactly.
That's why I said, steampunk.
Steampunk. Yeah. So anyway, he has sex with her, and when he comes, he stops melting.
Yeah.
See, my brain, this is where my brain went through the whole process. I was like, they're kidnapping all these women.
Yes.
There's this whole subplot of women being kidnapped that's never fully explained, other than it's a prostitution ring, possibly.
Yes, I think.
But my brain was thinking he's kidnapping all these women so that he can control his power by having sex with them and touching their backs and burning their backs, and then they die, and they take that out of him.
So
that's like going to be basically his food, basically.
Yeah, I was kind of thinking of it almost like he steals their life force to heal himself.
Yeah, something like that. Something like that.
My eyes.
We find that it's not him. It's the other thugs that are not connected to him in any way.
Yeah.
They're just having stealing. Well, I think that they procure the girls and then he gets them from his three, better dressed gangsters.
Yeah.
Sweater guy.
Yes, the
members
three guys. Yeah. they're like sort of like the leaders, and that's how Plutonium Man was connected to the gangs, and it's very superficial. He's not like running the gangs. He's just using them to get the reporter.
This is Randy Rydell reporting for Channel 6 News.
Randy Rydell.
Thank you.
That's actually a pretty great name for a character.
The may or may not be Interpol guy who really, really comes off for the first half of the film as some kind
another
of
villain,
really like
a human trafficker,
Jeffrey Epstein kind of rich guy who's just collecting blonde ladies, but.
Which is funny because half the women that he collected weren't blonde at all.
No, but he keeps showing him pictures of women. Like, that was the one where I like...
Yeah, I want this one and this one and this one. And he's like, I'll get those for you.
Like, do they have names? Do they have dossiers?
Yes.
Or does he just want women to look like them?
And it's like, do all women just have actor headshots, black and white actor headshots of them out in the world somewhere? Because... what's that all about? And then we learned that Plutonium Man can actually take the form of other people.
By taking their faces.
Within the last 30 minutes of the movie, we figured this out.
Yeah. Well, I want to say at one other time he did look different, and I just thought maybe it was just bad editing. But maybe he had someone else's face at the time, and you're like... But then...
I don't know.
He steals the face of the main cameraman for the reporter lady,
Right.
and apparently our hero
Because
is
he's
his, like,
he wants to get to
assistant.
the reporter because
Mhm.
she's
Needs-
getting too close to the truth.
Yes.
Yes.
I don't have time for that. Let's go, Randy.
You're not Jack.
The only person who knew that he was the New York Ninja was the cop
And
And
the
the
kid.
little kid.
and the little kid.
Which that's still that scene in the
Oh yeah, that was weird.
There's a very
I
uncomfortable
expected
scene
Chris
in the
Hansen
attic.
to walk in.
I'm gonna need you to sit down right there.
Well, he was
Have a
already
seat.
sitting.
Have a seat. Have a seat right over there. And then the fishing scene right after that was even worse.
Oh,
Well, I mean, at least they are trying the right.
Oh my God!
What the?
We call that fishing?
Of course.
that.
Like, did you really need to wear that small of a Speedo?
No, I mean, did you have to wear a Speedo at all? You could have just worn shorts.
Yes.
I mean, I've seen the type of fishing that he was trying to do.
Yes.
Where you're spearing fish. I
But-
don't know if you typically stick your head beneath the water to do it.
No, I don't think so.
Well, you have to remember they're doing this in the Hudson River. You can't see in the Hudson
Look,
River.
You probably shouldn't be sticking your face
Head
in
in the
there.
Hudson
You shouldn't
ever.
be. Well, you shouldn't be eating fish out of the Hudson River, probably either.
I think that they were trying to establish that he had taken on this kid, maybe Batman-esque. You know, this kid's on the streets. He's giving him a better life in his little attic garret, but it's got to be better than not having
Not having a
sleeping
home
in
at all.
dumpster
Yeah,
or in a
exactly.
box. And he's
Oh,
being a role
and-
model and showing him how to fish.
Speaking of, can we talk about the kids in this film?
Oh, and how they all like got together and beat the crap out of 4 gang members.
Exactly.
Let's get him! Get out of here!
Ain't no education. I don't know why. Miss Jones's 4th grade class in PS 81
Right?
has got a class project. We are going to help.
We're gonna help the
a
New
big-time
York
filmmaker. We need your parents to sign these permission slips. You may have to run down the stairs of a subway and attack gangsters,
Yes.
Yep.
but you're gonna win.
They also help the ninja escape at the end of the movie, which was one of the
That
most
was
ridiculous
hysterical.
scenes.
That is just like
It just sinks down below the
like
ladder.
elevator. Like
I'm
you
almost
do
expecting
elevator.
like a mime version of him walking down the stairs.
Hey, wait.
The lady who may or may not have been a coroner or a detective, and the main detective guy,
Yeah.
both
Coroner.
seemed really happy that he had gotten away.
Yeah, the cop who wore his hat like a fast food worker.
Yes, and he looked.
Does anyone have
20?
a ball cap in here? I just want to see if that's even possible.
I'm wearing one.
Can you? I mean, you don't have,
It would
that,
have to be a
that-
bigger
that
one.
spongy front one, but I have a spongy front one like that at home. I think.
I don't
you
think
know
I
what?
can. I don't think
okay.
it'll work. The movie just moved in such weird directions and had
Yes.
very, very odd dialogue from time to time. And then there's things that, like that scene where he got, what did he have? The photographer had something, and he was trying to stop his boss, and his boss practically ran him over, and he's trying to like get his attention outside the car.
Whoa! Whoa! Wait! Hey, I got more footage of the ninja here. You gotta see it.
I got something better. New York Ninja?
The women that were kidnapped and they were being held in this
And then
facility. Well, they were standing, pretending to be held.
yeah,
We couldn't afford real chains, so we stole some
Right.
from a lamp.
I mean, there is no reason why she can't just take her hands out of that.
exactly.
There's nothing keeping them
She
attached.
just has to let go.
Right? And so he comes in, like you were saying, he comes in to free them, and he just swings his sword, and then they just let go, and they're like, "Oh, I'm free!"
It's like magic.
They were all in such strange positions. Like some of them were like on these weird like stage light holding scaffolding
Yes.
things.
And
One
they just
was
weave their hand in
right.
it.
One was laying on top of a wooden spool with rope. And she was just like lounging on top of it.
I feel like this might have been like a prop supply area.
Of course, then they let the ladies out to walk around the swamp for a bit, every now and then.
Oh,
and then,
that's
Right.
right.
So they're out there underneath a bridge somewhere we're talking at the footings of like a big bridge, like a Brooklyn type bridge, and they're just out there wandering around in the grass, and then they're back in the room again.
Yeah.
And I'm like, wait.
And then when they all run away, and they all get loose, and they run away, and they get to the fire, and they all stop.
Ooh,
Fire, warm our hands. It's like, lady, you are running away.
We're running for our lives, but I want to get warm.
Then the Lawrence
first.
Fishburne cop just has a van waiting on them.
Of course.
Right there.
Right there.
Because you know what? They're going to come to this fire because they're all in lingerie and they're cold.
They're
and
cold,
it's
so they're
probably
gonna-
freaking March in New York.
Exactly.
I mean,
Exactly.
why?
Guys, it's available on Tubi for free. If you want to see this wonderful, wonderful, incoherent mess of a film, I highly, highly recommend it. It was incredibly entertaining.
Do it with people that like
Do
to
it with
laugh.
people that like to laugh
Yes.
because you're going to laugh a lot at the ridiculous stuff
And you
that
might definitely
happens.
want to tell people ahead of time, this is not serious. So don't
Right,
like
exactly.
New York Ninja should be on riff tracks at some point, in my opinion.
Why
Yeah.
hasn't it been? If it hasn't, we should.
Well,
totally-
it only came out in 2021, so
Yeah.
it's only been out for 4 years.
But I mean,
so.
it was made for riff
Oh,
tracks
yeah.
before
Made
it
for
even
something like
started.
Yes.
All right, so that was New York Ninja.
So our second film, when Patrick and I were originally going to start this, and I was looking through movies in general to do the show, this one popped up on my list, and I was just like, this is the movie. But the other reason why I picked it is because they selected a probably not even up and coming actress yet.
Oh, you think so?
Yeah, you're
Really?
saying it was her second?
It was
her second role.
Yeah, it was literally her second. It was her first TV role and her second role, and we're talking, of course, about Miss Sandra Bullock.
I guess I just don't know my own strength. I'm sorry.
Who, I will add, aside from from Lee Majors and Lindsay Wagner, was probably the best acted role in the film.
So
she was
her
fantastic in
emotions
it.
would flip.
Yeah.
Within 3 seconds
Well,
in one scene.
that's not her fault. That's the
That's
fault of
true.
writing. That's the fault of bad writing.
And though we do say film, this is a made for TV
film. Yes, this one is available. By the way, it's available on Peacock. So as far as like the production quality of this, it is quite obviously a made for television movie. Very low budget, very, very low budget. But it is what you would expect if you're familiar with the $6 Million Man or the Bionic Woman. It follows the same sort of ideas.
Their abilities. By the time you've seen this film, you should be aware of their abilities if you were a fan.
Yeah, they're in Golden's office.
Steve, there's men right outside the door with guns.
Yeah. And of course, this is actually a second of like a trilogy of post-series movies that they did.
Yes.
But the first one apparently was popular enough that it facilitated them making another one.
Yeah.
Which was supposed to be a vehicle for Sandra Bullock's character to possibly get
A new series,
happened, of
which unfortunately didn't happen. What would it have been? The Bionic Girl?
The Bionic Lady.
The Bionic Lady.
And of course, Lee Majors and Lindsay Wagner by this time are pretty much into their 40s for sure.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Or if she's not, she might be close, but they look great, of course.
Yeah.
She looks definitely better. But, I mean...
She still looks great.
She does. She really does.
And then, of course, they brought back other characters from the series. So, you had this continuity that they gave you.
Now, I will say that I had some problems with the way it was shot.
Oh. Really?
Yeah.
I did not get that from you. Not at all.
For you or for me, General Zerinsky?
For both, of course. Better conditions than the last time we met,
As far as your premiere is concerned, the last time we met never happened.
There were multiple scenes that first of all, let me preface this. I am by no means a filmmaker. I, however, am a student of films because I watch a lot of films. I watch a lot of TV shows. I watch a lot of stuff, content about films. And one of the things that I know for a fact is, unless there's some plot reason why it's going to happen, if you have a scene with multiple characters having a conversation, you don't want things passing between the camera and them. And they did it multiple times in this movie, and it drove me up a wall.
You're the only side.
Let's film this in a way to where everyone walks in front of the people talking. That's not distracting at all.
And it's really messing with his ADHD.
You're a wonderful girl.
Oh my God! Why? Why did you shoot it with all that shit in the way?
Because we're supposed to be voyeurs.
But Uncle Oscar wouldn't like it, is that it?
That's why I can say.
Bad filmmaking.
Oscar's resigned.
This is perfect. That's what it should be.
Well, someone's about to walk by.
I want 4 people to walk by in front of him right now.
No, instead we get a fucking tree.
And I know they were doing it to establish that they were frustrated in a busy area. So, the beginning of the film, there's this like rudimentary, like hint that someone's gonna gain abilities.
Yeah.
And they started out with, but then they like immediately go to this military operation thing that's starting to happen, and they're telling people, to keep radio silence, and they're about to come to the Pentagon. And then they switch over to this ballroom, which I wouldn't necessarily think the Pentagon would have a ballroom.
Oh, I wouldn't forget that.
It looked like a hotel conference room or hotel.
But somehow or another, they were able to get to the Pentagon very
banquet
quickly.
Hall. But they get there, and Nixon breaks in and prints something out on a dot matrix printer and then runs off. And as far as I know, that is never followed up on in the entire film.
Well, no. You didn't see it?
I missed it.
He passed the papers off during the whole big old fight and the helicopter's landing. He passed the papers off to another person who then ran and got on the helicopter.
Right. What was on the papers?
Maybe.
Oh, they did mention it. It had.
Because that just sort of disappeared for me.
Maybe you'll find it and you can just like put it at the bottom of the screen.
Yeah.
It really was because
Guess what was on the paper?
And
why did they break in and steal it?
And granted,
what was it for?
I hadn't turned the volume up at that point yet, even though we were watching closed captioning.
So that was problem number one. But there was some issues with the writing. There was some issues with the writing. There were several scenes with Sandra Bullock's character, not a disparage of her. She'd acted them beautifully.
Yes.
But the scene had her go from flirty to happy to extraordinarily angry, all within like 5 minutes.
Alan Devlin says that the doctors still aren't sure of the damage to your legs. I mean, you're a great athlete. There might be a chance you could walk without the use of Bionic.
Sure, Jimmy. Find the right remark. That's what life is to you. Jokes.
Oh, okay. That
make
was a
them laugh,
massive
make cake
tonal
fun.
shift.
What happened to you is real. Try and deal with it.
Jesus.
Well, if you want a friend, I know Liz.
Okay, I guess they needed to further the plot along in one scene, so they just said, okay, you're going to have a massive shift from being super friendly and supportive to angry.
It shows her range.
I mean, all he did was just mention that she had nice boobies.
Right? I mean, you should take that as a compliment. Like,
and then,
oh my lord!
And then very conciliatory. I mean, because she's got potentially 2.5 love interests.
Yeah.
Because it felt as if like Lee Major's biological son, who's playing another character.
That's where I
thought
what I thought was going to happen.
It seemed like the logical progression. If you're going to, have a new Bionic Woman, let her boyfriend be ostensibly the son of the old Bionic man.
Right.
Even though he's not playing his son.
That would make sense.
Yes.
That would make sense. And then from a lore and fan perspective, that would make sense.
Yes.
But then they have, what was his name? Jim?
Look, Kate. Ever since high school, well, ever since you ran over my foot, but no.
And Jim, we find out, is truly outrageous. Jim, we find out, actually has been kind of in love with Sandra Bullock's character
since she was
Since she was
wheelchair-bound
wheelchair
in school.
bound.
They went to high school together.
Yes. Yeah, they went to high school
A,
together.
they went to high
and-
school together. B, he's like sort of like the I
It
guess
was-
he was his real nephew. It calls him his uncle, but I wasn't sure if he was really his uncle.
Yeah, he's really his
That's
uncle.
real
It's his real uncle. Yes,
But it
Oscar.
became more
Oscar.
of a father, Oscar.
Yeah.
Also known as General Sweaty Face.
The security of the games himself. Look, if the general wants the job, that's fine. Just tell me what's happened to make me an overnight
Powder
security.
all of their faces.
The
They're all so fucking sweaty. Oh my god, he's even sweaty in the restaurant.
I don't know if that was a makeup problem or if he just made him seem less old looking.
Or if it was
Or if he was just really sweaty.
Maybe he was just hot a lot. But he was the uncle of this young guy who's lived with him for the last 5 years after his parents died.
Right.
Who turns out to be a great athlete. And he is inexplicably at first like blown up on a boat.
Oh gosh, does he live on a boat? That's so 80s.
Yes. At least
Right.
the boat explosion was better than the helicopter explosion.
The boat explosion was pretty cool.
New York Ninja.
You are very correct. They actually blew up a boat.
Yeah.
The boat explosion was pretty cool, but you're like, why?
Why?
And then-
Why?
What's the point?
What's the
So
point
they,
of that?
They put this timer on the boat to blow it up. It's set at 30 seconds, and at this point, we haven't even shown Jamie and Steve and Oscar walking on the dock.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe if they had shown them walking on the dock and then planted the bomb, it would have.
We
given
would
us
have
a
made
little
a
bit of
connection.
suspense. 'Cause
Yeah.
Honestly, I wasn't sure if it was a bomb at first because it didn't really look very bomby. They were almost to the boat when it blows up, and supposedly we find out later that Steve was supposed to
Steve was
be
supposed to be
on
the boat because he was trying to blow up Steve
And-
Austin.
Because he was supposed to have been doing the security for the
Oh,
World
and
Unity
he would be
game.
really good
Oh,
at being the
that's-
security, and they
okay.
wanted someone else to take over it because it'd be easier to manipulate.
That okay, that makes
Or
sense.
did they say Devlin would be over security? Because that would have made
That would have made it very
convenient.
easy, very
Yep.
convenient. That would make sense. Okay, I didn't make that connection we were watching because the
But
movie's
here
poorly
he
written.
is.
Yes.
And then they start playing up the fact that his legs, he doesn't know how extensive the damage
So
to
we're
his
like,
legs
"Ooh, we're
are.
getting
Because they were
another
talking about
bionic guy.
Right, and
Temporary
then and so yeah,
paralysis.
that's what we were thinking. He's going to
Mm-hmm.
become Bionic too, and then he and Kate are going to get together, and it's going to be a little Bionic family.
And
But no,
And then they even
no.
tease you because Lee Majors then walks into his room where he looks pretty much okay in a normal bed with no kind of ventilator. Doesn't look like he has any kind of major monitors on him. Nothing that would indicate that he just had a almost catastrophic accident. So we all
Yeah.
kind of came to the conclusion that this is much later.
The explosion was meant to kill me. They must have thought I was on the deck. Why? Somebody doesn't like my handling security for the games.
I mean, they only let the
No. The question is why did they think you were on the deck? That's the question. Not why did they want to kill you? Why did they think he was going to be there?
He was on his way there.
I know, but it's just
That is, isn't it, Steve?
sorry. It's just bad storytelling. It's bad storytelling. Bad storytelling.
And he's healed from whatever things they've been doing to him nefariously. But then you find out that they haven't done anything to him. But his uncle wants it done. And he can't
Quits his
get
job over it.
He can't get his nephew bionicized because, you know...
That's a new word.
I
Bionicized.
don't have any other way out. I live with that. Now you're going to have to live with this. I have no
This
more money
room
for any
reminds me of
further
something out of
bionic
The
development,
Wiz.
much less the cost of an operation. Now,
Nepotism apparently is not alive and well.
Yeah, but this was all like so this was all like a ploy. It was all
Which
a
we
plot,
find out later.
Which you find out
Yeah.
later. It was all
He
staged.
throws a big hissy fit.
Throws a big hissy fit.
Oh,
He's
witness to
also
the OSI.
so yeah, but then there's the other guy who we think is an ally,
Yeah.
who is wooing Kate.
romantic.
I have a theory.
I thought taking my hand was off limits.
He's the secret bionic guy.
But I've decided to change the rules, if that's okay with you.
Let's look at his eyes.
You know it is.
They're very beautiful.
Boyfriend figure.
And so he's the other figure of the love triangle between Jim, Kate, and Devlin. And I'm very proud that I made the call earlier in the movie. It's like, I have a theory. I
that's
think
right.
he's the secret bionic guy.
And literally 5 minutes later,
they revealed it.
Well, they show us the bionic guy who's wearing a mask and everything. He's got these really bright blue eyes and he looks young.
How's our fearless leader?
How cold.
Good. Then he won't insult anyone else tonight.
And we still kept thinking it might be a different character in there, though.
Yeah,
and they threw a red herring in there when they talked about some Austrian athlete, and they showed his birth date was like 51, which isn't that old when you're making a movie in the 80s.
True.
Volkov, a Czech sprinter who was born in 1947.
A rather disgusting little roach that will inherit the Earth if we don't stop nuclear madness. And a particularly lethal brand of Russian vodka. Terrific.
Like I said, nifty, huh?
That's it?
That's it.
Yeah.
It's 30, yeah.
But, so I think we kind of thought that maybe that was going to be the other
Russian
bionic person.
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking.
Oscar pretty quickly overpowers him.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't take much.
And then, but first we've got to we skipped though. We jumped because Oscar, after his spectacular resignation, wanders off to a bar and gets
hammered,
stinking drunk,
or so we think.
I want you to remember this. Don't ever fight for your own country. Take it from someone who remembers the good old days and found out that they weren't very good at all.
He gets drunk, they take him home, they put him in bed, they all go downstairs to chit-chat in his house.
And that's when we see the new bionic
person. Oh, he's lightning fast.
Yes, because not only is he in slow motion, but he leaves a tracer, so he's even faster. The new bionic is it's whooshing and you leave tracers behind you. Which also I would also like to point out that I realize it's traditional and that it's in a weird way it works, but it doesn't make logical sense.
Yeah.
That to show that someone is moving extraordinarily fast, you film them in slow motion. It
doesn't.
It's weird. It's weird. But it's laughable.
They're slowing it down for our mortal eyes.
For our mortal eyes to see.
But I love the fact that, as I said when we were watching it, the Xanadu effect from the whooshing.
But he kidnaps him. At first, you think that he's broken his arm or his neck or something, and then he shoots him with some kind of sedative.
Yeah.
And instead of going down the back stairs going out a window,
he goes out the front door of the house.
I mean, this is after he's already had a fight with Steve Austin and thrown him off the balcony or landing, and then goes back down the stairs where there's now 3 bionic people who he somehow manages to take all of them out.
Well, he used Kate.
He threw the stunt doubles at each other. That's what happened.
And then dashes away. So now they all know that there's a new player in the game.
Mm-hmm.
They need to infiltrate the Unity games,
which is, I guess, like the Goodwill games. It happens
in Toronto.
year.
Yeah, it happens in Toronto. So they need to infiltrate this, and I was immediately thinking Jim, because he's an athlete.
Yeah,
perfect chance.
Perfect person. But no, it's Kate.
I'm sorry.
But they used him to
give it legitimacy because he is a trainer. He could be trainer. He could be your trainer.
He just has to be.
Yes. But then we find out
can't teach or
exactly. Those who can do, those who can't teach. But that's when we find out though that he's been faking his wheelchair boundness this whole time.
Yeah.
Because it was all a plot
with
Oscar to try to flush out
and it was
the mole.
It was fun. There's kind of a fun little culmination. There was some issues with helicopters.
Yeah. As far as bad movies go, I'm a big lover of really bad low budget films. This was actually a pretty good low budget film.
Yes.
It was very enjoyable to watch. There were some script problems. There were some pacing problems. There was there was the whole thing of we had to get it under her skin, and then we can activate it. And it was like, and then they shoot her. So it's like, wait, what were they getting under their skin?
So you can see this work. Because, Oscar, as bionic architecture becomes more sophisticated, it also becomes easier to disrupt.
Uh-oh.
We'll just slip it underneath his skin. Turn it on.
That big-ass thing?
Say goodnight,
Right?
Katie.
I don't think that's not something you slip under someone's skin. It's freaking huge.
Well, never mind. Bad thoughts, dirty thoughts.
Okay. Well, it brought to mind that Futurama episode. I can't swallow that. Good news. It's a suppository.
Yeah,
We were very confused about that.
I felt like they kept hinting that they were somehow going to be able to control her, but like they would. I feel like you have to do a really big reboot on someone's brain to make them be bad when they're as inherently good as this character obviously is.
Yes. And it's just, I mean, I think it might have actually done what it was supposed to do, because I think it was just supposed to disrupt her bionics enough that they could overpower her.
Yes.
But it didn't work very well, because she still kicked their butts whenever it happened. But the fact that he said, we just need to get it under her skin. It's like, why was that line used?
Exactly. And why was it this big and that thick?
But isn't that the part where we also find out that Jim can actually walk?
Yes, because he came running. Right.
He came to her rescue.
Right.
Then, of course, there's that whole "you've been lying to me" moment.
Yes. One of those other scenes where she went from happy and loving and playful to angry.
Will you listen to me, please?
Cheap stuff to get your sympathy.
What the? What is that?
Why are we watching?
Hey, I did not.
Girl, what is that underwear?
Hey, lie to me.
When the bomb went off,
And Oscar knew you were faking.
it was his idea. He explained the whole thing to me in the ambulance on the way to OSI.
Okay.
She wasn't. She has that girlish charm that she still has.
She still has.
Yeah.
She's very girl next door. Sandra Bullock has always been very girl next door.
She's like Mary Ann.
Very down to earth.
She's like Gilligan's Island Mary Ann. I mean, she's sweet. She's completely wholesome.
Sweet. She's funny.
I suspect that Lee Majors would have had occasional visits.
Oh, sure.
And
Lindsay
Lindsay Wagner would have
also.
probably been a regular.
Oh, you think?
Yeah, she probably would have helped train her.
Well, yeah.
You know,
that's another thing
that
she said.
she did.
They have to train all the bionics. Why do I have to train all the bionics?
Why do you always ask me to work out the new bionic people? My God, I was lost. Starting to feel like an antique.
It's like, girl, this is the first one.
Yeah. Well, clearly not.
Well, his son. They say Steve Austin's son is also bionic. There's 4.
Oh, yeah, because he had an accident.
So
And
Steve
there's
Austin's son.
Devlin that
So,
apparently got bionic
so
somewhere
it
along
would
the
just
line.
be Steve Austin's son. That would be the only one she would have trained beyond Kate.
Unless there are
It's
more,
just
but they just don't talk about them. Maybe all OSI agents are bionic.
That would be cool.
That would be pretty
And
awesome.
then they're all, but at the same time, they're complaining about a bionic army. If the other people get it, I'm like, are you creating one of your own bionic armies?
Well, I tell you what, that OSI sign outside the building, that's burned into my memory now. They've used that same establishing shot like 5 times.
Of course.
I guess it's a television thing.
Yeah, I mean, anytime
Back
you're-
from commercial, boop, this is where we are. Back to the show.
ER, there's a lot of shows that take place in a place.
Well, yeah,
and you'll
building.
see
They show the building. Yeah, it's all establishing shots.
Friends.
Yeah, it's funny because we're watching it without commercials, and it just like the scene finishes, and
You're
then
in
they
the
show
OSI,
the
remember?
OSI building again. It's like, we never left. We're still there.
And then when we jumped to Toronto, that was also kind
We
of...
thought it was a commercial. Okay, then.
And now we're going to do a commercial about Toronto?
No, there's no commercials. The commercials were at the beginning. That was the new establishing shots. Like, by the way, now we're in Toronto.
So apparently the Unity games are in Toronto.
Yes.
It was so clear and pretty, and it didn't look like anything else on the show. And there was an opening scene during the banquet when they're like doing the Unity games, and you sort of get the impression that this is all taking place in Washington D.C. And then they do like this little diorama, I guess, of the village for the athletes or whatever, and you see this weird tower, which later on you realize is the CN Tower.
Mhm.
But I mean, I'm like, what in the world is going on here? I mean, it was good. It was very nostalgic.
It was very nostalgic. If you've watched
a lot of memories.
Yeah, if you
halfway
watch
through it, I just looked at them and go, "Yay! I picked a good movie for this." Because, honestly, I didn't know whether I was going to bring a bad movie or not. I mean,
well, I think you said that after I just screamed at the movie because like, oh my god, bad writing!
Yeah,
it's bad writing.
Because I mean, and of course, don't forget, I'm not that great of a movie critic when I'm like 6. When I was watching those original series. So, to me, I thought that was really good television. And it probably was pretty good television.
It was for the time. It was very good television.
But, to be fair, almost any long-running television series, when they do a movie of it, sometimes it's a disaster. Oscars overreaction eventually made sense.
Yes.
True.
Because I'm like,
it did seem a little out of character.
Because you're talking about like duty to country and all of these things, and suddenly you're going to throw a hissy fit because they won't give bionics to your nephew.
Yeah.
And then get drunk and make a pass at a woman. I swear to God, when he put his arm around her, I thought like an 80s harassment work tape was going to pop up on screen.
This is bad touch. This is bad touch. This is not what you do.
And then, like, when her boyfriend comes along, instead of just like, "Oh, I'm so sorry, man," he doubled down.
He doubled down on putting his arm around. Well, that was probably that's probably a very strong 80s trope.
Yes.
You know, we've seen that in films before. So I enjoyed it a lot. I had a lot of fun watching it. It was nostalgic. It was actually pretty good. So if you are a fan of those old series, I highly recommend watching it.
And if
you're not, watch it for just a giggle because it's actually kind of a cool
$6
story.
Million Man for sure is on Peacock because the first episode
started playing.
After this
so
one.
you could watch the old series as well to give you backstory.
Yep.
But anyway, yeah, this one's on Peacock. I recommend it. I enjoyed watching it. It was fun.
Yeah.
But that's going to be it for this episode of. Thank you, Glenn, for joining us today.
You're welcome. Happy to be here. And ooh, I can't.
And I when I was driving over, I'm like, oh crap, because I'm like, we're all the right age to know these characters, and I'm like, Glenn's probably seen this, and then he's like, oh yeah, I saw this.
Yeah. I had never seen it though. That was my first time seeing it, so that was cool. All right, well, we are going to get out of here. Thanks for coming by and watching the video. Click like and subscribe before you leave. If you'd like to see the full reactions to these videos, they're going to be on Patreon. Just follow the link in the description. I'll see you guys next time.
Tidy kicks pajama party picture show. In jammies and blankets, we're ready to go to mystery movies, the good and the bad. We laugh till we cry, or just cry 'cause it's bad.